Hello again, everybody. This is Joe Larson and Chuck Schultz, and you're watching the 505 Racing Show. Tonight we're going to talk about the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series and the Xfinity Series at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're going to talk about the playoffs, some scheduling. We'll talk about the modified results, and also some news breaking out of the K&N Pro Series East when we come back.
Inravio.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Nice weekend we had this weekend. It's all good.
Weather was good. All worked out pretty nice.
It did. And, you know, it's this weekend, the NASCAR Whelen Modified Touring Series was at the Riverhead Raceway here in Long Island. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I don't know if you watched any of Indy, because if you did, you were one of the few, because the grandstands were empty.
What is it about people not getting to the track?
You know, the cameras deliberately stayed away from the grandstands as much as they could. And at one point, it was announced that one of the announcers, I don't remember who, said that due to the devastation in the Southeast, possibly some of the people couldn't make it. I have a feeling they got told that in the earplug, because it was empty. And there's a place, you know, that holds quite a lot of people.
That's a big place. And
earlier in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway NASCAR events, the place was packed. 96 was the first year the race won by Dale Jarrett.
Right.
And he won that race, and they kissed the bricks. It's become a tradition. And the place was overflowing with people. Where are they? They're not there.
Well, there's no doubt they had a storm coming. They had a lot to worry about. There was a lot going on there. So that might have had something to do with it, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
That was most of the case. I don't know if people are tending to go out there anymore. They can see so much stuff online, on TV. They can be anywhere they want to be in a second with the flick of a wrist, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean...
they don't need to go anymore. They could watch it for free. And years ago, and here I am saying, you know, back in my day, TV didn't show a lot of races. And the people that went to the race, because that was their only source of seeing the race. Now there's cable, there's pay-per-view, there's fan choice, there's all these live feeds. You know what? I know people that even when they were there for the festivities and went back to the hotel and watched it on cable at the hotel. And it's just...
Well, we're a little bit to blame. I guess we started that 20 years ago. But that was for other reasons. But we were at the track all week long, and we were just burnt, fried, and burnt, and all kinds of other things going on.
Yep.
And we were just... I mean, all over that track at Pocono, and we wound up back in the van and just with the TV on, window down so we could hear the cars go, because we're on the front straightaway.
Right.
Listening to the cars go down the straightaway, and we're watching the coverage on TV.
Yeah.
Because you could see the replays, you could see everything else you needed to do. You didn't need binoculars to see the far side of the track, what was going on. You could see the shucking and jiving. I mean, when you think about it, it was nice to be at the track, no doubt, but it was nice to be in the van in the air conditioning and just sitting there watching the TV,
at the same time.
I got to say.
It's not what it once was, and I don't know what has caused that. I'm not sure if it's the hotel gouging. I don't know if it's the multi-avenues to watch the races. I don't know if NASCAR's made the cars so cookie cutter. You know, they're not.
I don't know if that's it, really. I just think it might be, you know, the amount of money that it costs to go and do it.
Well,
I mean, I know somebody who racked up an $80,000 bill because they decided that they were going to go to every NASCAR race.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They took the year off and went to every NASCAR race, and it was a lot of money.
Oh.
And that was years ago. I don't know how many people could afford to do that.
I couldn't.
You know, I could imagine that, hey, the race is coming to my town. I'm going to save up my bucks. We're going to have a big thing of it. Going to go with the guys. It's going to be a big tailgate thing. We're going to stay the week, watch the qualifying, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So-and-so's got the motorhome, the bus, whatever. We're going to go over there and, have a blast of it,
Yeah, yeah.
It's like camping and anything else, I guess. Yeah. But you're also buying a ticket. But I got to say, when we went to the races at Pocono, it was a reasonable number. I think it was, at the time, was $175. We were up in the box. You had the food, you had the drink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a shame we had a rain out because it was raining that day.
I've experienced that.
Yeah. But, I mean, I thought it was a nice thing.
Yeah, and it is. And I'll tell you, I've been to events that were rained out. And, I got a plane out the next day, and I learned to fly out a day or so after. So in the
So
event of that
you could stay there.
So you could stay. And, I learned that one the hard way, one of the Martinsville events I was at. And I had a 10:30 in the morning flight on Monday because I got to be back to work Tuesday. And watch the start of the race because they raced it at like a little bit in the morning or something. Our plane was delayed because of weather, and so I got to watch the start of the race. But it's not the same. There's a lot of things going on with racing, with NASCAR. The changes, the cars are changing, and like I said, you take the decals off the car, you can't tell the Chevy from a Ford anymore.
Well, I think you're right. I think there might be something to do with the competition side of it.
Right.
But I think on face value, I mean, just to go and have a fun time, and
Exactly.
it's still something nice to do.
Yeah, it is.
I
enjoy it. I still enjoy going to the races, the Cup. I don't go as often as I used to, for whatever reason. And it's not so much the cost. It's the just trying to get to these places and trying to find a place to stay. It's insane.
Well, yeah, when you inundate a town with that many people, you better be bringing your bus. I mean, and stay in the campground thing and do all of that. I mean, thank God we had the hauler when we went. It was either that or we had people that actually had, a motorhome that we stayed in a couple times.
Yeah, we're looking for the Daytona 500 in 2020, just trying to find a place to stay. The week before the race, it's like, 150 a night. The week after, it's 150 a night. But the week of the race, it's like 500 a night. That's not right.
Well, you know what? There's no doubt that they definitely do that because, but they do that everywhere.
Yeah, they do.
We talked about that. Well, no, I mean, even if you stay out at Montauk on Long Island, you're there this weekend. It's going to cost you what, $75 a night?
Yeah.
If you're there Labor Day weekend, it's $375 a night.
Yep.
They know people are coming out.
So. Yeah, and they'll pay it.
And they'll pay it. And
when people stop paying it, that's when maybe they'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just insane, in my opinion. But to have empty grandstands, they really need to reevaluate whether they're going to have that race again at Indy, because that had to be the worst attended live race that I've seen ever.
I wonder how that, dollars and cents, how it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, they still got the racing coverage, and I think that's a good thing.
Well, yeah, the speedways are making their money from the TV package, and but still, I can remember they kept building seats at all the racetracks.
Wow, back in the day, they couldn't get enough seats.
Yeah, now they're tearing them down, because it's just not good. Anyway.
Well, we're hoping for the best. I think it's all going to happen.
Yeah, that's what we got to do.
It's all going to happen.
Well, for those who were there, the Xfinity Series was there Saturday, and it was a tough little race going on, and it was a parade without music for the most part. Single file, and hard to pass. I think we have the results coming up here. There we go. The Xfinity race was won by, who figures? Kyle Busch. Justin Allgaier was second. Noah Gragson was third. Jeb Burton fourth. Justin Haley fifth. Brandon Jones sixth. Cole Custer seventh. Chase Briscoe eighth. Austin Hill ninth. And rounding out the top 10 was Ryan Sieg. And the Cup Series was there as well. And I actually watched a good majority of this race. It was interesting, to say the least. And we have the results coming up here. And Kevin Harvick was the winner, his second time winning at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Joey Logano second, Bubba Wallace, an awesome run for him in third. William Byron fourth, Clint Boyer fifth, Denny Hamlin was sixth, Ryan Blaney seventh. Ryan Newman with that 8th place finish got him the last spot in the playoffs. Chase Elliott 9th and Paul Menard rounding out the top 10. The race was tough in the case that they had trouble passing. And I mean, I know like Bubba Wallace, he was at one point 40th, but he worked his way up to third and he had a damaged race car. But once they took off the top 4 or 5, nobody could catch him. Nobody could catch him. And I know Jimmy Johnson crashed out. First time since the introduction of the playoffs that he is not in it.
Wow.
Yeah, he is not in it. I mean, he lost his Lowe's sponsorship, or they chose not to come back, whatever the deal was on that. But I'm thinking Jimmy Johnson is his tenure as a race car driver is coming to an end.
Well, we kind of talked about that. I think that's whatever it is. It's just not happening.
Right.
He's not melding with the team or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, for a guy who was so strong for 7 championships.
7 championships.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. It's just,
doesn't even begin to say.
We watched history happen. I mean, that's great. You know what I mean? We watched it happen. We were there for it. Just unbelievable. It's just, you always kind of think that, hey, can he get that 8th,
I was talking to a former official via chat about it. And my prediction was some way, somehow, Jimmy Johnson was going to get in. Just like when Jeff Gordon didn't make it, or when Kyle Busch missed half the season and they restructured the rules to get him in. I thought for sure something was going to happen.
Something was going to happen to make it happen, because that's a newsworthy story right there. That's like...
similar to when Richard Petty did not make a Daytona 500, and he went to Bill France and he said, this will be the first 500. There's no Petty. You got to do something.
Right, yeah.
And all of a sudden you had a past champions provision was created to get him in.
Yeah.
Whether I agree with that or not, I can't say. I can't disagree. For marketing purposes, there needs to be a Petty in the race back then. But
I don't know. I don't know what the solution was, but man, it was just to watch him do 7 and come that close. And having Chad Knaus, he was the guy that was calling the shots, and he seemed like he was gold, man.
Oh, yeah.
What a team they were. Just whether you liked them or hated them or whatever the case may be. I wasn't a big fan, but I'll tell you what, he was just like, just to watch it happen, And and you know what? Not for anything else, but just maybe to take some lessons from what they did. And I think, it's like anything in racing. As soon as you open the hood on the race car, there's 100 people standing by the hauler looking to see what you're doing.
It's
what's happening. It is. It's very true. And, they took it to another level. I think they took, and they brought a lot of other people to another level too. Yeah, and it's that way in every, every form of whatever it is, music or racing or business, or everybody sees what everybody else does and say, hey, that works. Let's jump on that bandwagon.
It's like. But I remember when I first got involved, and the late Chris Young, that year, and I believe it was 78 or 79, at ISA Speedway, he won every qualifying event he raced in. And it was about 10 cars in each heat, and he started 10th. And he won every qualifying event that year. And if Chris Young would have went into the back corner of the pits and put salt in his gas tank, Everybody did the same thing, without a doubt.
Well, I told you, I actually stumbled across something that was not a fix,
right,
as much as it was a Band-Aid, but I stumbled across something, and from one week to the next, I was very fast. And I went to I don't know why I went to the speed truck.
I never had that problem.
No, I never had that problem either, except for this one time. And I really didn't think it was that big of a deal. But apparently everybody else did. Yeah. And I went to the speed truck, went to Dennis, and I said, Dennis, I need something, whatever it was. And he goes, man, you got everybody talking. I'm like, about what? He goes, everybody wants to know what you bought for me this week, because all of a sudden you're like, super fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, that's, but it's interesting. As soon as you take that hood off the car, they're looking. They, all right, this is your job. Anytime they take that hood off that car, I want you to watch and see what's going on.
It's so
now
true.
with cameras, they can zoom in with a
video.
video.
They can zoom in. They got the drone flying overhead. Oh, yeah.
Right? Tell me about that. Now it's a different story. They could put a camera on the front of the hauler and just set it on you, and they could be sitting in the hauler watching it.
Yeah.
They videotape it and watch it later.
Oh, yeah. No, but it was I don't know what's going to happen. And I know there's a new group of people sitting up there in the corporate office, but I'm not going to blame Brian France because he couldn't make these decisions without all in favor, against.
Yeah, somebody's got
to say yes or no. Somebody had to guide him.
Somebody's got him in there.
And and as a former employee of NASCAR, I know they wanted perfectly wooden soldiers, and you sat there. Yes.
Go with the flow, yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of political going on before, and goes, listen, I'm going to bring this up later. I want you to second it. It's like anything.
Yeah, because if you second it, that guy and that girl, and their sister was there, so they had a family dinner during the week.
Yeah.
This is what we need to do.
Do
we have enough votes?
It's all part of it. But ultimately, I'll tell you what, when it comes down to the bottom line, NASCAR's in it for the dollars and cents.
It's a business.
And I think that they're trying the best they can to keep the competition level as high as they can because of that.
Right.
Because, again, if they make it exciting enough, they're going to put more, butts in those seats, more people on TV. So it's a big thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they're working on it. We might be talking about it. We're not bashing anybody,
No,
but for the most part, we are, it's kind of like Jeff Foxworthy says. You can't talk about rednecks unless you are one. And you can't really talk about race car drivers unless you really are one.
Exactly.
And we is one.
So,
it's not like we're bashing anybody. We're basically we're pushing to make this thing happen just like everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, because ultimately, think about it. If racing goes into the can, where's our show going? We got nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, remember when they used to be racing?
Remember?
Back in the day?
Remember we used to have a show?
They used to have these things that were called cars that had wheels on them.
Yeah. Well, it's like in that same Jeff Foxworthy little skit, I'm going to change it up to fit us. Drive a race car? Well, I used to could.
Yeah. I might could again.
And I might could again. We're going to take a break, and we come back. We're going to talk about the playoffs and some of the things going on in the world in NASCAR when we come back.
Hey, what's I was going to say what's up for some reason. Hey, we're Set It Up, and you're watching the Inravio TV network.
Hey, Joe and Chuck, this is Jim Kelly from the Long Island Vintage Auto Racing Series, calling in to wish you guys a happy 400th episode. Myself and the club appreciate everything you do for the racing community, both locally and nationally, and we look forward to the next 400 episodes. Thank you.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE, your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Hi there, this is Buddy from Less Than Jake, and you are listening to Inravio TV. You're probably watching it too.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. We just want to thank everybody for taking time out of their busy schedules to come watch us.
We have a few new viewers on.
Two boneheads on TV here.
Exactly. In fact, a few new viewers tonight.
That's good.
Facebook.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of more views. Welcome. Yep,
Welcome.
absolutely. Thanks for all your comments. We want to hear from you because we're going to talk with you live in the chat. That's what it's there for.
Exactly. That's what we're here for.
We started that 15 years ago. Everybody was like, "How do you do that?"
Yeah.
I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
It'll never work.
It'll never work. Well, I've heard that too before.
Yeah.
We did it before there was such a thing called the Facebook.
Exactly. Oh, I'm having fun today. Hey, the playoff field is set.
It is.
It's set. I'm not a fan of playoff, if there was an Eastern series and a Western series, Northern, Southern, Canada, Mexico, and then you had took the top 5 at each one, yeah, that's a playoff. That would be like a national champion. You put them in identically prepared cars.
I'm not a big fan of the playoff because then it narrows it down to this many people.
Right, it does. Well, here's the list. And I'll say it slow in case you want to write it down, but...
What's writing it down mean?
All right.
Take a picture and email it to me.
Just, go in the archives and watch the show and just, because the show is free on demand, free. It's still free on demand here.
Oh, at Inravio?
Yeah.
Oh, it's $400 a show.
Yeah, but it's free to watch it on demand.
Oh, it's free to watch it.
Yeah, that's what it costs you. Anyway.
For every viewer, it costs me $400. What are you kidding me?
Oh, man. The traffic on the Oakville Mars.
It's still free. It's still free on demand. So yeah, and hey, while you're at the website, don't forget we got shows and tickets for the Paramount Theater. So if you can get to New York, or if you're in New York, absolutely sign up for some of those shows, man. We got shows for the Paramount Theater in Huntington, Long Island, New York, and they've got awesome shows. So
they do.
Even if there's stuff we don't have there for tickets giveaway, check out their website. They got plenty of good shows.
I know a gentleman who won tickets from us a few years back, went, and when they were advertising their future shows, he went to 2 more concerts. So you never know. You never know.
I had one race car driver who won shows off won tickets from the show, and I get home and there's a stack of water bottles in front of my door with a note. It says, "Hey, I won the tickets from Inravio. Thanks." Nice. I figured I'd drop off some water for you. I guess he was the Poland Springs delivery guy, and he saw the van in the driveway.
See? Nice. Yeah. Anyway, here's how it looks now. The top 16, or the only 16 in the playoffs now, they will move on based on certain criteria. If they win a race, they automatically move up to the next level. So here we go. Here's the top 16 in the playoffs. Kyle Busch. They reset the points now for those who know. So Kyle Busch, he gets bumped up. He has 2,045 points, and he's with Joe Gibbs Racing. Denny Hamlin is down to 2,030 points, another Joe Gibbs Racing guy. And Martin Truex Jr., he's got 2,029 points. Again, Joe Gibbs Racing, the top 3 in the playoffs of Joe Gibbs. Kevin Harvick is next. They bumped him to 28 in points. He was with Stuart Haas, and he won at Indy, as we said earlier. Joey Logano is at 28. He drives for Penske. Brad Keselowski, he's at 24, another Penske driver. And we got Chase Elliott from Hendrick Motorsports, or Rick Hendrick Racing, with 2018 in points. Kurt Busch with Chip Ganassi, is 2,011 points. Alex Bowman, another Hendrick driver with 2,005 points. Eric Jones from Joe Gibbs Racing with 2,005 points. Chip Ganassi also has Kyle Larson with 2,005 points now. Ryan Blaney, a Team Penske driver with 2,004. William Byron, another Hendrick driver with 2,001 points. Eric Almirola with 2,001 points with Stuart Haas. Clint Boyer with 2,000 points, another Stuart Haas racer, and rounding out the top 16, getting in by the skin of his teeth, Ryan Newman from Rouse Fenway. He will start the playoffs with 2,000 points. You know, if Ryan Newman wins a race, he's already guaranteed to go into the next level, even though he's 16th right now. So it's kind of like the way he wants it. If you win, you move to the next level automatically. He could crash out every other race, therefore, and finish last. Not even show up, but he won. So he's on back in, and the next level of points are reset again, and it narrows it down, and we'll have to break down.
So how many levels are there going to be?
I believe there's 4.
4 different levels.
4 different levels. Where when they get to Homestead, the last event, there's just 4 drivers left, and it's basically how they finish. They could finish 36, 37, 38, and 39th. Whoever finished the highest will be the champion, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup champion. So they are, I did heard it announced last night that they did mention the regular season champion, and that's Kyle Busch, of course. You know, go figure, he wins everything.
So there's multiple winners because we have stages. There's multiple champions because we got levels.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this? I mean, you know.
I mean, really. Yeah. Imagine if you're at a local racetrack, like it's a 20-lapper, and if you're leading on lap 5, you get points. You're leading on lap 10, you get points. Leading 15, and then at the end of the year, if you add up all your stage points, you get.
You got to look close because, you know, a couple times I, didn't get the whole race, so I'll jump on and I'll try to find highlights or something just to see what happened. And it's like, oh, so-and-so won. And then I look closer and it's like stage 1.
Right.
The winner of stage 1.
Right.
Winner of stage 2.
Yeah.
So you really have to kind of look close.
You got to look. You got to pay attention. And I know why this was done. They want to compete with, the NFL. They're not going to compete with the NFL.
Do you think that's what they're doing?
That's what I thought it was started for, because they're
trying to make it.
Because the ratings
more.
people went to them and said, listen, once football starts, your ratings drop. So, you know what? Let's make it exciting. They didn't, in my opinion.
Well, I think if you're a race fan, you're going to watch it over football anyway. And really, when you think about it, you got the DVR. You can watch both of them.
Yeah. I just never had time to watch the DVR.
Well, when you're watching a race, it's a lot of race.
It's a lot of race. It takes up a lot of space.
It's a lot of race. It's a lot of race.
I was going back and forth, between my favorite football team, which I will not announce because people, the guys in the white coats will be waiting at the door for me. And they say, you're still rooting for those guys? Gang Green, they're breaking my heart since 1969. But, yeah, it's just the playoffs. I don't know. I'd rather see the guy with the most points at the end. He's the champion.
That's kind of what we've been living with forever.
Yeah, but this is the thing where everybody gets a trophy now. We're in that day and age.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a trophy,
Well, Will says, imagine missing half the season and still winning the championship.
That's what happened. That's what happened with Kyle Busch. He was out due to an injury and broke his leg.
With the broken leg, yeah.
So they changed the rules for that. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing to do. You know, I mean, that would work for me if I was a recipient of it.
Well, you got to figure you've got driver points, you got owner points, car owner points, right? I mean, so there's a lot of parts and pieces going on here. So everybody's walking away with something, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, there's trophies for everybody. Trophies for everybody.
That's what I need. Damn it. Where's my trophy?
Where's my trophy? Hey, we got some news out of the NASCAR ranks. It was announced this past Friday. Eric Jones signed a contract extension with Joe Gibbs Racing. Jones will continue to drive the JGR number 20 in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series in 2020. So he's all excited about that. And Tyler Dipple, we talked about Tyler a couple of weeks back when he was arrested for possession of a controlled substance. He was reinstated recently by NASCAR because he was found, not that he was found innocent, never came to a trial, but a person came forward, said, that was my backpack, that was my stuff, I have a prescription, provided the prescription, and it was all good. And, you know, and the whole world was looking at Tyler Dipple like, you know, you violated Rule 12-4A.
Well, isn't that you're basically guilty and you got to prove you're innocent?
Exactly.
That's kind of what we're living, right?
Exactly. So he was cleared of all charges upstate New York, and he will continue to race in the Truck Series.
Good.
So good for him.
Good for him, absolutely.
We did talk about that.
I'm liking that.
In fact, the 400 show, we talked about that, and one of our guests had got on and said that he knew him personally, and there was no way that this kid would do that. And he was right. So
Yeah.
It was good. All good. All good. What do we got here? I got so many notes here, going off of notes. And, you know, the other thing that we're looking at the series, with the scheduling for next year, they're moving all the races around and putting, like, the fire, it used to be called the Firecracker 400 from Daytona, that was always run, used to be run on July 4th. Now it's the weekend closest
to, yeah.
Now that's going to be running like in September or something. It's,
Firecracker 400?
you know, what are they going to call it? The Labor Day race?
The Inravio 400?
You never know. You know,
The
you never
Inravio
know.
TV Network 400? Yeah.
You know, maybe we'll
How many
get some-
millions of dollars would that cost us?
I'm thinking one more set of zeros.
One more set of zeros?
Yeah, billions.
You think it's billions?
Yeah.
Wow.
For little guys like we're nobody.
Yeah, we're nobody. We can't afford that.
Nobody knows us. You know, nobody knows us.
That kind of money, I'll buy another camera.
Yeah, because, well, the cameras that, you know, because some of the other shows went on to do other things, the cameras aren't getting used as much as they used to. So they're going to last longer.
Okay.
I'm always looking after you, man.
There you go.
I'm always looking, I look at the
It's
positive.
like buying a car.
Exactly. You know, it's like buying a car. Oh, not me. Yeah, it's all good. Anyway, we're going to take a break. We come back, we're going to talk about the touring series, the Whelen Modified Tour that was here on Long Island this past weekend, and some news coming out of the K&N Pro Series East, and some other stuff about the touring series.
And I want to say thank you to everybody that sent in videos for the 400 show. And we're going to be running them pretty much all year, so if you feel like you want to send in a video.
It's not too late.
Not too late.
And I'll tell you what, you know, when we did our anniversary show, and some of those guys, and I got my hands out to you guys, you and Bonnie, I didn't expect those guys.
Oh, there's a lot more.
Yeah, I heard some blips
And there's
before.
a lot more you're not going to expect.
Yes.
Because you really, it kind of boggles the mind when you think about the people that are watching the show.
It does. And you know what's funny? You know, I'm figuring after 400 shows, you get like a little cake or something. Those people saying those things.
Cake costs money. What are you kidding me?
I know, it's free to do it. You didn't put cake in the budget.
No, a little tiny ice cream cake, $8.
$8, you know? and you know, we had people here,
That's true.
you know? So, you know.
Hey, you know what? We had the right people here, and there was no cannolis.
Exactly.
What's going on?
I was expecting cannolis.
I was, absolutely.
And I know one of them is watching.
I'm disappointed.
And guy had to drive over a bridge to get here.
Holy cannoli.
How many cannoli places did he pass?
That's right.
Just saying.
But you got to pass the right cannoli place.
Exactly.
Not just any cannoli place. You got to get the right one.
The right cannoli place. And even though I really shouldn't eat
It's got to
cannolis,
come in the paper box.
the paper box with the red and white string.
That's
all the way
right.
around.
That's an important thing.
And you got to be Italian.
That's right.
Anyway, we're going to take a break, and we come back. We'll talk about what's going on in the touring series.
Hey Joe, hey Chuck. This is Jan Leedy wishing you a happy 400th episode of the 5 Off, 5 On show. It's a tremendous show, and we really appreciate you guys and what you do for motorsports.
Hi, I'm Remington.
I'm Emerson.
And I'm Sebastian.
We're Palais Royale, and you're watching Inravio TV.
There we go.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE, your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Hi, this is Mike Jarecki from My Race News, and you're watching the Inravio TV network.
Hey guys, this is Jibs from Ocean's 8, Alaska, and you're watching Inravio TV network.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. We're having some fun in the chat there during the break. So apparently the cannolis got hijacked on the way in.
Yeah.
Carjacked.
Yeah.
That's it.
And one guy was told to leave the gun and take the cannolis. And
He showed up and he had white stuff all over his mouth. He's like, I was in traffic. I just got here.
and he didn't have his gun. So he left the gun. He followed half the instructions. Half. Unbelievable. I'll tell you what. You spend a half an hour with that guy, and I'm not going to say who it is. You'll probably figure it out. The stories he has, and all confirmed when you check them out, because you got to check people out sometimes, you know what I mean? And you're like, holy jeez. But anyway, yeah. See? And now somebody else is volunteering to bring them next time.
There you go. That's what we need.
Yeah, next time. I'll be 70 when we have the next.
No, next time,
400.
next year, we do the 400 and I don't know, whatever.
450.
Whatever it turns out to be.
Probably be sometime in August again. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Hey, V-Ride. Giddy up, V-Ride. Anyway, Whelen Modified News. They ran at Riverhead this past Saturday night. And some of the news out of there was kind of pleasantly surprising. The Gershaw Motorsports team fielded 2 cars, the 21 with Chuck Hosfield and the 12 with J.R. Bertuccio. Hosfield has 7 victories in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour in over 15 seasons. And JR was the 2002 NASCAR Whelen All-American Series champion at the Riverhead Raceway. His father, Joe Bertuccio, Boss Joe as he's also known as, has always fielded modifieds, whether it be at his local track in Riverhead, Southern Tour, Northern Tour. It was good to see JR back, and considering the guy hasn't been in a car, and I went back and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm thinking 3 years. Somebody said 5. JR, when I spoke to him, said 2.5. He was slow in practice, and I believe he qualified 20th, which was, out of 30 cars, and he battled his way up to a top 5. So good job for JR.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. When I
not
spoke
too
to him
shabby.
after, and he was like, he goes, imagine if I was practicing and running. He goes, I got on a plane, came here, and jumped in the car. So he's going to run at New Hampshire. So it was good to see JR and back running Riverhead. And Chuck's Hosfield, too. I think the rumor in the street is Chuck is going to retire after this season and concentrate on the things. Not confirmed. And Shane Bailey from the guy who always has good NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour news said Eddie Seiss will be the driver of the Danny Watts number 82 in the Musket 250 at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I saw that on the chat.
Yeah, and Tom Rogers Jr. drove the Danny Watts car at the Riverhead Raceway and led most of the race, followed by Timmy Solomino, which we have a shot of him, and Justin Bonsignore. There's Timmy Solomino. One of the nicest guys I've ever met in racing, and I met a lot of them. And I remember Timmy from the go-kart days over 10 years ago when I first got involved with racing. Always a pleasure to chat with, always a pleasure to talk to. Him and Justin Bonsignore, we have some shots of Justin too, I believe. They ran a tight, clean race. Side by side at points, swapping the lead throughout each and every lap. The fans were on their feet. It was a good race, and then it was a green-white checker for the end.
They're always great contenders when they come to Riverhead.
I'll tell you what, I had the opportunity to talk to Tom Gatz after the show, and I said, Tom, this place was hopping. This was nice. You put on a good show. The place, if you haven't been out there, and I'm not that I'm trying to give them a commercial, but if you haven't been out there, don't think it's the old Riverhead Raceway. There's nothing old about it. I went out there with my brother. My brother wanted to celebrate his bachelor party, and the place that he told his guys he wanted to go was the Riverhead Raceway for the mod tour race. And they were all firemen. I was the only non-fireman in the van. And we did some tailgating before, And we had one of the head officials come out and talk to us. They wanted to make sure we weren't doing any bad things, and we weren't. We don't do that. And I can't even remember how many beers like 10 people had throughout the entire day and afternoon. I just know they kept coming back with 4 cups at a time, like 4 people with 4 cups at a time. But it was a good day, and Tom...
Well, they're firemen, we can drink.
Yeah, and Tom, like I said, Tom Gatz and I, we had the opportunity to speak briefly afterwards. I know he's a busy guy, and Tom, I think you're watching. You did a good job. You, Eddie, Connie, did a good job. It was a good show, all in all, with the support division. So things have turned around at that facility under the new ownership. Turned around, so that's a good thing. But yeah, Saturday night, Mod Tour, Riverhead. We got some results here. There we go. Justin Bonsignore. There he is, the leader, winner. What a show he put on. Timmy Solomino. It was a 2-car race after Tommy Rogers Jr. fell back. And if you were watching any other part of that race, you missed a good battle. Craig Lutz, wow, 3rd place. Kyle Soper, 4th. If you notice anything about the top 4 people there, they're from Long Island, just saying. Patrick Emmerling finished 5th. Chuck Hosfield, 6th in the Bertuccio car. J.B. Fortin, 7th. J.R. Bertuccio, 8th. I said 4th before, I'm sorry. J.R. Bertuccio, 8th. Tom Rogers Jr., 9th. And John Beatty rounding out the top 10. So if you look at that, 7 of the top 10 were locals for the most part, even though they run the
Well, got to tell you, if you're familiar with the track, you kind of got a little bit of an edge. I mean, you're still running the same equipment.
Oh yeah.
Or damn close. I mean, you
without
got
a
a nice little edge there.
It's I know the entry blank read they were going to start 28 cars. 30 showed up, and they started all 30. Don't know why. I've seen them send home one. So I wasn't going to get into the politics of it, although some people felt the need to explain it to me. But I'm not going to get into that politics here either. They put a person into the show who was out on their own on lap 5. There was a caution. They just pulled off the racetrack. They weren't a part of it. So I don't understand that. It should be, if it's a time trial show and they're taking 24 or 23 in time and 5 provisionals, that's what they should do. Yeah, I know some people come from a long way, but it's funny how NASCAR could follow the entry blank when it's convenient to them, but they'll send one guy home or one girl home from a race that they travel just as far because. And being a behind the scenes insider for such a long time, I can remember guys coming in, and I can remember Jamie Tomeno at Riverhead Raceway a few years back, did not make the show on time, did not make it as in points, he did not make it at owner points, but he should have made it as a past champion. And Wayne Anderson, who I have the most ultimate respect for as a race car driver, was a past champion as well. And he was the most recent past champion. And he got in. How the rules were changed to make it that the past champion had to race so many races in that current season. But it didn't help Jamie Tomeno because he would have had a record that I don't think would ever be broken of like 700 consecutive starts because he never missed a show except that one.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And, a phone call could have been made. Hey, listen, we got some hot news here. We can make this happen. And I know Al Lamarino one time in the weekly series, he didn't want to run a consi because, and this is funny coming out of Al, is because it was his high school reunion, and if they ran a consi, there was going to be an intermission, and between the consi and the intermission, he was going to be late for his reunion, and he went in and put up the money to put up the other 2 spots, and they wouldn't take it. And I know he watches, so he could confirm that, but, when it's convenient, they do it. When it's inconvenient, they don't.
I remember a race car driver showing up at the track in a tuxedo because he had to race and get to a wedding. I don't know if it was his. I'm not going to mention any names. But I remember him standing, and I'm like, well, I'm not even going to say his name, but I'm like, why are you here in a tuxedo? He's like, I got a wedding I got to go to, but I got a race.
Chuck, I was at a wedding, and
you left to go to a race.
The bride took off her gown and went with her new husband to ISO Speedway. The Daily News just happened to be there covering something else, Daily News out of New York, and they had the groom go out into the middle of the racetrack, and his ushers from his wedding pushed the car out to him, and then she gave him a big kiss, good luck. They left their reception to go racing.
You know what? It's what it is. It's what race car drivers are different people.
Now, when that day comes for me to take that gigantic step,
that's not going to happen.
It's going to be like Neil Armstrong: one small step for man, one giant leap for all mankind. I'm not going to be racing, and it won't be on Monday, so you don't have to worry about the show, right? But if that day ever comes, I'm not leaving the reception to go racing, and I'm not going to the racetrack or doing the show in my tuxedo. Just want to put that out there for people that are concerned.
So you throwing your hat into the ring again? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
After you hit the cue ball across the room a couple times, it's over.
You know, what do they say? 3 strikes and you're out.
I remember towing up to Connecticut for Waterford, and I don't know why we left in the middle of the night, but we did. We get there, and I pull into a gas station. The guy's in the gas station. Of course, it's, one of those little, mom and pop shops.
Yeah.
Guy's in there, he's got his feet up on the counter. And I go in there and I go, hey, listen, any diners around or a place to get something to eat, around? He goes, nope. Ain't nothing on the road this time of night except for cops and crazy-ass race car drivers. And that was it.
Yeah. Hey, we got some news coming out of the K&N Pro Series East. Local guy. I hope I say this right because he's watching, so forgive me. Even though I was born in Brooklyn. 16-year-old Giovanni Bramante, I hope I said that right, is moving up to the K&N Pro Series after a successful career in late models. Giovanni has signed on to drive the Visconti Motorsports number 74, replacing Brandon McReynolds, who the Viscontis and McReynolds parted way friendly. It was a friendly breakup. Brandon had other things going on with the truck series as a driver coach, and Visconti needed a driver. The plan is to run a full-time schedule in the K&N Series with the possibility of a handful of Gander Outdoor Truck Series events. So good luck to Giovanni. Good kid, young kid, successful. He's driven late models, super late models, all upstate. Young kid, 16.
16.
16 years old. I have sneakers older than him. But I wish him well.
I guess you've been doing a lot of driving. It's good.
It's we missed the boat by an ocean.
Well, I didn't start when I was 16. I don't remember how old I was.
I was 21.
Yeah, well, I don't think I was
21.
21.
Actually, I was 20. And I ran on non-NASCAR events because my parents would not sign the waiver, whatever you had to sign to let your under 21 person drive. My daughter was in modifieds at 15 and we lied. We said she was 16. So yeah. And then somebody called NASCAR. Said, we have the same birthday. I know how old she is. She's only 15. We were up at Thompson. Nobody knew us.
I started, I must have been in my 30s, I guess. But yeah, the first car I bought, the guy I bought the car from was in here. Saw him a couple days ago. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, I bought it on time. Gave him a couple dollars down, and I was paying him off every week. Couldn't afford a set of tires. So one set of tires is all I had.
That song. I remember that.
That was good. That's funny.
It. I thought I had good stories.
Give me the spare tire. We got no spare tire. We can only afford one. Yeah. 4 tires, one set. That's it.
I remember. Now, we're going to talk about the old days. I remember I got a flat, and I pulled in, and you grabbed one of your crew was helping me, you and yourself and your crew, and even Bonnie. And I pulled in, and the car gets jacked up. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, come on, hurry up. And all of a sudden, the wheel don't fit on the rim, on the boat thing. I said, that's my rear wheel's a Chevy, my front one's a Ford, remember? So they were marked, but nobody looked at the marks. So.
Who does that?
Who looks at that? A little RF. Now I made them big, real big. RF. L. R. Left rear. But, we have fun with that stuff.
I have to give some props to one of the guys that just chimed in on the chat. He's not a race car driver, but he is a cartoonist, and he actually drew my first logo for the race car.
Really?
For the jackets, yeah, for the crew jackets, yeah.
Nice.
Roberto, good job.
It's funny that we have a lot of non-racing people that watch our show.
We do.
And I want to do a shout out to a person. She's an older woman in her 80s, Libby D'Alessandro, who watches our show regular.
Nice.
She thinks it's the greatest thing, never went to a race, and keeps asking me to bring her to a race. Now, I'm going to have to do that.
So we'll have to do that. Maybe we'll make a plan. We'll take her out to Riverhead or something.
Yeah, somewhere.
Something close, something easy.
Yeah, because, I don't want to make like a 5-day trip out of it.
Yeah.
That gets boring, but. So Libby, I know you're watching, so we'll get you out to a racetrack, and even bring it down to the studio, see what we do down here.
Yeah, why not?
You know, I mean, you know, you did go a little over budget with that studio. I mean, you did.
Well, I don't do anything half, you know.
I know, but can we paint the white and the black? Because it's starting to get, don't you know? I'm just saying.
That's from the rubber on the racetrack. It's
Was that from Untitled Speedway when they like tore it up? Marty knows you have that. He's gonna be upset.
Marty does know I have that.
Oh, okay, good.
That's Daytona right there. That's the start finish line of
Nice.
Daytona.
This is nice. Anyway, I don't know how much time because I lost track. Oh, we have like a lifetime.
We do.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll start doing our little wrap up.
Some memories.
Yeah.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE, your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Hey, Joe and Chuck. It's Ray Manieri from Bayshore, New York. Everybody at PMS Motorsports would like to wish you congratulations on your 400th episode. Keep up the good work. Keep informing everybody what's going on in the racing world.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Russ Whelen. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you get punched in the But if you have this bracelet from Inravio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
What's up, guys? This is Assuming We Survive, and you're watching Inravio TV Network.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the show. I see that I got to give some little shout out there. My math teacher from high school, Jim Hinch, is watching. Mr. Hinch, how's it going?
You know, one of my
Blast from the past?
My 6th grade teachers from like 1969, Mr. Frank Arena, he watches the show. And he always told me, he had this like finger and he used to hit you in the back of the head when you could do that to students.
Yeah.
And he said, Joseph, keep acting up, you'll never become nothing. I guess I acted up because
you still didn't become nothing.
I still didn't become nothing. Oh, yes. Yeah, you know, some good times racing, and met some good people over the years. And
We
as
have.
you have too, you know.
I can't believe the summer's coming to such a close. I mean, so a lot of the local tracks are closing up.
Closing up, yeah.
There's not a
Not
lot
for
of
good,
races
just for the
left.
season.
Yeah, for the season, but there's not a lot of races left.
No.
And then, you know, yeah, quick. I'm telling you, with the blink of an eye, and there you go, boom, you're in, you're out.
Now, I know something. It seems like every week we're talking about somebody who passed away, and I wasn't going to mention it, but Father Dan, remember Father Dan? Father Dan was with the Racing of Jesus Ministries. He was a Riverhead Raceway track chaplain, was the Pocono Racer Champions track chaplain, and the New York Islanders track chaplain. He ran a church in Smithtown. It was I don't want to say it because I'm going to say it wrong because I couldn't pronounce it when I knew what it was. But Father Dan, passed away. He had moved back to Pennsylvania. He had the cancer, and it sounds like his body just gave up. So, our prayers to Father Dan and his family. A lot of great memories with Father Dan over the years, and when he was doing well, he was at Riverhead on the ramp with me side by side.
Yeah.
Always feeding me. That's why I was 300 pounds, because I was always being fed by people. But anyway, prayers to Father
that
Dan.
never hurts, right?
No.
It's everybody wants. Hey, come on! Everybody's got tons of food out there.
Yeah.
Doesn't help with the left side weight any. It does, but it doesn't.
No. Anyway, I think we're like down to the wire. Wow, we're getting that. We're getting that. Yeah, look. So I want to thank everybody for, like Chuck said before, for taking time in your busy schedules. And tonight the live version, the chat was hopping. A lot of new people.
Very good.
A lot of good guys.
Actually, we got a nice little kudos there for one of our sponsors, Village Music Shop.
Yeah.
Nancy Heim, she says she got her son Brian's instrument at the Village Music Shop many, many years ago.
Yeah.
We have to give a little bit of, kudos to the Village Music Shop. 50 years in business this year.
Yeah.
This is Village Music Shop's 50th anniversary. Yeah. So.
And my man, Bill Batch, just said that his car was set up the same way. Chevy rears, Ford rears, and Chevy fronts. See, I wasn't an oddball. I kind of knew what I was doing. Anyway.
There's no way we would have been able to do that. We wouldn't have been able to figure it out.
No.
You got to have different colored rims.
Yeah, something.
So I don't know. What do you think?
But anyway. So
Welded
folks,
on.
Yeah. Again, thank you everybody for tonight. It was fun. We're looking at going to start the second 400.
That's right.
This is 401. If you're keeping track at home.
Absolutely. Well, thank you to all our sponsors for the show for the 8 years, and absolutely thank you guys for watching. I mean, taking time out of your day. I hope we made you laugh. I hope we gave you some information that you like. I mean, the numbers are looking good.
Yeah.
We got plenty of viewers, which is awesome. I appreciate all of that. Makes us one of the best shows on the internet for racing.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely.
Yes, it does. And couldn't be done without all of you people, all of you guys.
Absolutely.
And of course, without my co-host, my producers, and the owners of Ultimate Media.
Absolutely.
And Radio TV.
And you know what? There's been a lot of people in the production booth over the years, and everybody's helped out. Boy, we've had some really good people, and we got to say thank you to Bonnie, who's in the control room today.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All righty. All right, good night, folks. We'll see you next week. Be safe. Give somebody a hug. Tell them you love them. We'll see you next week. Good night, all.